Three, two, one, and we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Strength and Opening 101. It's always exciting to have you guys here. Today, we're going to be doing the hip mobility portion of today's programming. It's going to look like a little bit of strengthening just because a lot of people um, divide the two. Like, there's mobility training, there's strength training, but they actually go hand in hand. And that's kind of what we all show on Thursdays is how through strength you gain mobility. If you guys have questions throughout the class, definitely let me know. And I'm excited for us to start moving. So why don't we go ahead? We're going to start with a small warm up. The warm up is just going to be something that we've done before. It's a coordination drill, so it's something that feels a little difficult in the beginning, and that's okay because when it comes to strength, if we want to build strength, how do we build it? We have to put the muscle in a state of um, like resistance. We have to put so much resistance into our body, like try and push something really hard that it comes back stronger. It's the same thing with coordination. As we're trying to develop coordination, we have to feel uncoordinated. So we're going to just do some tasks that make us feel a little uncoordinated as a warm-up. And then from there, we're just going to have some fun and check out where it goes. So again, thanks for coming, guys. And let me know if you guys have questions. All right. So today's class is going to have, we're going to be starting off with kind of like a jumping jack variation. If you've been to the first class, you will know this. It doesn't make it any easier if you know it or it's your first day because it's a pretty difficult task. So what we're going to start off with is arms cross while legs cross. So it's like this, boom. And then we come out, open. And then the opposite side, boom, open, boom, open. So why don't we just try that 20 times so we can get the rules of the game that we're going to play. 20 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, 20 reps right there. So we're going to try the same exercise again, but this time we're going to do 20 reps with legs are crossed, but arms are straight out. So we're going to do 20 reps as so. So when my arms are crossed, my legs are spread. When my legs are crossed, my arms are spread. Let's try 20 reps, get this in our body. 3, 2, 1, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. So we have two patterns in our body. And now that you got the chance to kind of experience them, if it felt a little hard, that's okay. That's where we're building coordination. If it felt easy, don't worry. It's going to get a little more complicated, the rules of the game. So the rules of the game are pretty simple. When I say the word arms, what's going to happen is you're going to double tap the arms in whatever location they're at. So we're going to actually just say double cross them. So what we do is we start off in a pattern as so, arms cross, and I'm doing this pattern, and right when I say the word arms, you're going to double up the arms. So if you notice, it might have been a little fast, I went hit, hit, instead of going hit, open, and then I say the word arms, and you go hit, hit, and then continue. The legs continue the whole time, while the arms double cross. Okay, so let me just show how that looks. Try and see if you can notice when I double cross, and then we're going to try it together. All right, so let's go ahead. So I'm just going to start off, I do my thing, and then I say the word arms, boom, boom. And now notice that I'm going opposite, and then I say the word arms, boom, boom, and I'm back on track. And I say the word arms, boom, boom. And I say arms, boom, boom. Okay? So every time I say arms, you hit, hit. And then you continue moving the legs the whole time. And this is just going to get us, one, warmed up in our hips so that we can hit some of the mobility portion, and two, let us start feeling what it's like to control our body. So that's where the coordination comes in. Okay? So let's go ahead and try it together. Hit, 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 hit. Ready? Arms. 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 Woo. All right. So that's how it goes with part one of the exercise. We're going to try the same exercise again, but this time I'm going to say legs. And if I say the word legs, what are you going to do? Double cross the legs. So let me just show an example of that. So I start off and we say legs. Legs, boom, boom. Legs, boom, boom. Legs, boom, boom. Legs. Ooh, I think I messed that last one up, but I think you guys get the point. So let's try that together. 3, 2, 1, begin. Legs. 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 Woo! Alright, let's wrap up. We have one more task. So now we're just going to combine everything we know. We start off the pattern, and I can say arms or legs. And whichever one I say, that's the one that double crosses. And you might be like, I'm already so confused. How am I going to manage that? That's okay. It's like riding a bike. It's meant to be difficult because of the coordination that the task requires. With biking, it's also balance, but with this one, it's mostly coordination. The coordination of the task, but once you start getting it, you can't forget it. My teacher, he said, I will bet you $50 that you cannot be worse tomorrow than today. Like, it is impossible for you to be worse. So that's just exciting. We're putting in the work, and tomorrow will be better, no matter what, just because you put in some practice. So let's go ahead. We're going to do, again, this process, and I'm going to say arms or legs, and you're going to double cross, whichever one I say. 3, 2, 1, begin. Arms. Legs. Legs. Arms. Legs. 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 Woo! And done. Okay. If that felt very confusing, that's okay. That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to make you feel uncoordinated so that tomorrow you're more coordinated. So, I hope we're feeling a little warm. We're going to start off with some good old hip opening exercises, some of my favorites. So the very first one we're going to start off with is the Cossack squat, and then we're going to go into split squats. So we're going to actually just do 2 sets of Cossack squats, 2 sets of split squats, and we're going to do them one at a time. So what's a Cossack squat? We're starting off legs open. They're about twice the hip width, twice the width of my hips. From here I bend one leg, keeping the other straight. Bending one, and I come down as low as I can while maintaining my strength coming back up. So it's going to feel like a strengthening exercise, but you're also going to feel a pull. And that's what I mean by strengthening or opening through strength. So we're going to go and do 5 reps on each side. Last rep on each side is going to be a 10-second hold. So we're going to go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. And on the 5, 5 part, we go 5, 10-second hold, 5, 10-second hold. Okay? So let's go ahead and check this out. Go as low as you can. In the beginning, you might not be able to get all the way down. It took me a couple months before I had a full-blown Cossack squat. So yeah, let this be the beginning. Okay? 1, up. 2, up. 3, up. Oh, I'm sorry. I kept doing the same side. Let's just do one side. I changed my mind just because actually that'll let you start really opening that tissue. So we're going to do same side. My bad about that. All right, ready? Rep number 4. 4. And this one's going to be 5, so 10-second hold at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's go ahead and try the other side. 5 reps, 10-second hold on the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, control it. And last one, 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push out of it. Boom. Have the strength to pull yourself out of these positions. Don't just collapse in them, right? And if it's something that feels really hard to pull yourself out of, that's a good sign that you picked a depth that was too deep for you. So we don't want to go that deep. So shake it out before we do the second set. Does anybody else have like the sweats going? I think it's just because of how hot it's become in my house. I don't know if we have the air conditioning on right now, so the sweat is real. All right, let's go into second set here. 5 reps each side. So we're going to come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push yourself out. All right. So that's a gentle beginning for us to start opening up our inner thighs. And now we're going to start getting our hip flexor opening. So with split squat, this is going to be a front foot split squat. And so the way you set up is you're going to come into a lunge position. So from a lunge position, I really want to make sure that my back glute, for me, it's my left foot that's back. So my left glute is on. I want my left glute tightened up, and I want my stomach pulled in as I bend my front knee. I do want to try and keep my back leg as straight as possible, but it's okay if you bend it, right? We're just looking for what feels like you start feeling that stretch, right? So my left foot is back. I'm trying to open up my left hip flexor. Left glute is tight, stomach pulled in, and we're going to go ahead and just come into a forward lunge. I want my heel to come against my butt, and then I push right back out. So you can just watch this before you try it. So again, notice that I do not mind if my knee comes over my toe. This is actually helpful for your split squats, is to get the knee past the toe. So here I am, you'll notice here, and I'm just opening up this tissue, 2. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do 5 reps each side, 10-second hold on the last rep. So go in the depth that feels comfortable. You don't have to go all the way down like I'm showing. That's a one-day move. Maybe you're already there, so I invite you to enter that range and be able to, through strength, pull yourself out. If you're using your hands, that is a good sign you went too deep. So do not need go deep enough that you need your hands on your knee to push yourself back up or on the ground. Just find it through strength, the level of mobility that you have access to. Okay, so coming in. This is 1, back up. Coming down. 2, back up. 3, back up. 4, back up. 5, 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, other side. 5 reps, 10-second hold on last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push yourself out. Woo! So that right there is what's going to start helping us open up our hip flexor, which is located here. Why does the hip flexor get tight? Mostly because we're sitting all day. So I am flexing my hip 8 hours. So the muscle that's meant to do this is already in a tightened position, and after 8 hours, it kind of clamps down on you, and so that when I try to get out of my chair, I do this, and then I try and straighten out, but I start getting this little booty pop, and this is called an anterior pelvic tilt, or people walk around like this, right? And that's because their hip flexor is tight, and it's trying to pull them into hip flexion. So this is a really great maneuver to start opening up and letting go of some of that anterior tilting. Okay? So let's go ahead. We're going to try 5 more reps. And coming down. 1. 2. Listen to your body in the depth it can achieve. 3. 4. Final one. 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up. Other side. All right. 1, 2, 3. Keep the abs tight the whole time. Keep this right glute on the whole time. 4. And last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Complete. Shake it out, shake it out. So we got to do 2 sets of Cossacks and then 2 sets of the split squats. So take a small break, feel free to get some water, and what we're going to do is actually combine the 2 for our next set. So just take a moment, make sure that you're letting your legs feel rested. Alright, hopefully you got some water. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to enter in a Cossack squat and turn it into a split squat to come out of it. So I'm going to show this. The Cossack squat, you start about twice the width of your hips. So what we do is we come down, and from this position, I'm going to pivot, boom, and then push out. And then I restart. Okay? So let's show that one more time before we try it together. I may have to push out of it a little bit to get the rotation I want, and then come deep again. And then from here, pushing out. Okay, so we're gonna try 5 reps on one side, and then 5 reps on the other. So starting off with this leg here is going to be my Cossack squatting leg, and on the last rep, we're going to do a 10-second hold in both positions. So 10 seconds here, 10 seconds in the final position of the split squat. Okay, let's try that. 1, pivot, up. Notice that I had to lift before I could pivot. Eventually you'll have to lift less and less as you practice, but just as a general rule for the beginning. 2, 3, 4, and last one, 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up. Whew. Shake that out. That is a lot of opening and strengthening taking place. So if that feels new, let me know. Be like, hey, this is exciting. I never touched these dimensions. I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on any questions. It doesn't look like anyone has any. All right, let's give about 30 more seconds, and then we're going to do the other side. All right, let's try it again. This time we're going to bend in the left leg. Bend in here. 1, up. 2, up. 3, up, 4, up, 5, 10-second hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, opening, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, man, those are intense. Alright, so that was 5 reps on each side. We're going to repeat it with a variation so that we can get 2 sets. This time the variation is I'm actually going to start in the split squat and turn it into a Cossack squat. So you can just watch for our break. Just check out what this looks like. So I start off with my split squat, 1, and then I rotate, turning it into my Cossack. And then I reset, and then I go down. 2. Right? So that's kind of how it looks like. You might feel some gliding of tendons, like that snap over. With that, just come a little bit out of your depth and let that tendon glide over instead of snapping over. Not that the snapping is bad, it's just that, right, that just means that your muscle isn't used to that motion. So instead of letting it glide over, it's just kind of snapping. And once we get more used to it, there will be more lubrication around that area, and we'll be able to glide over. So just this one's a little more snappy. Maybe you felt it in the last movement, just so we're all on the same page. So let's go ahead and try 5 reps. 1, boom. 2, 3, 4, and last one, 10-second hold at each phase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. And then we're going to try the other side. So let's go ahead and just take 1 minute off. Let our legs feel rejuvenated. All right. Shall we hit the second set? Let's go ahead. So, there we go. All set up. All right, let's go ahead. Starting with the split squat. 1. Ooh, that first one was a little tough for me. 2. 3. Hit. 4. Hit. And last one. 5. Oops, I skipped that first 10-second hold. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. Alright, let's take a break. We're going to give ourselves 3 minutes off just to let our legs feel restored. And then we're going to move into the next hip opening, which should be a pretty exciting compression hip opener. On this 3-minute break, get some water, and if you have some yoga blocks, it may be helpful depending on how open you are. So I would just get them just in case, and we'll show some straddle waves next for those who know what that is. So just go ahead and grab some yoga blocks. You have 1 more minute of break time. I grabbed 2 yoga blocks. I started off in this next maneuver with 4 yoga blocks, and I've slowly been taking them out as I've gotten more open. Sometimes I do it with no yoga blocks, but for today I'm just going to show it with 2 just so that we can kind of gain an appreciation for the posture. All right, and that is the end of our 3-minute break. We're moving into part 2 of today's class. So what I do is, for this next posture, I start off sitting with 2 yoga blocks, and again, once you get a little better, you can go ahead and take some out. With this exact opening we're looking for pancake posture. So what is a pancake? A pancake is when you're going to open into a straddle position, and the goal is belly button to the floor. Definitely takes a good bit of time to get that, and you're gonna need to get rid of the yoga blocks before you can do that. So how many yoga blocks do you need? You need enough yoga blocks that you're able to sit upright. If you feel like you're slouched, that means you're not in the most optimal position for it. So we want to be upright as so. So from here, what I'm going to do is come into my widest straddle, and I want to point my toes and dig my heels into the ground. That's what's going to let you get that activation. So I point the toes, I dig the heels, and I'm just going to wave my spine down, kind of like this motion here, right? So I bring my nose as low as I can, and then I extend it forward, and I let my hands follow, and that's 1 rep. Okay? So I'm going to actually take out my yoga block so I can show it a little deeper. So here I am, and then I'm coming down and forward. Eventually, belly button to the floor, but even I'm not there yet. Um, Maybe some of you are that are watching. Takes practice, right? So let's go ahead and try this again. We're going for 10 reps with this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the last one, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming up. Woo! Sure, that felt like quite a bit of opening for people who don't get to visit this posture often. If you do get to visit it often, well, I'm happy you're here and maintaining your mobility. So know that for me to get this far, I had the tightest hips anybody could ever imagine. That's why I had to start off with 4 yoga blocks. And yeah, it took me about 3 months to get to this point where I finally can take out all my yoga blocks and come forward. But even still, you can see, like, there's a bit of distance here that I still need to cover. So I actually want you to come out of this position so that you don't quote unquote overstretch. So just come out of it and just kind of give yourself, your hips, a little bit of relaxed rotations. We're going to do that for 2 more sets. Just giving ourselves maybe another 20 seconds. Rounding up the hips. Rejuvenate. Alright, you guys ready? We're coming back into my straddle position. Again, pointing the toes, digging the heels into the ground, and forward we go. 1, up. Wave down, push forward. 2, wave down, push forward. 3, waving down, push forward. 4, down, push forward. 5, down, push forward. 6, down, forward. 7, down, push forward. 8, 2 more, down, push forward. 9, and last one, down, pushing forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, undo, just gently coming out. The progress for this one for me took me some time. It was not a hip opener that came quick. I do not suggest doing this one more than twice a week. Twice a week is a great way to start seeing progress and let it be safe, because the muscles that we're opening right now, they're going to be really located around the origin of your hamstring and adductors, which is your inner thigh. And those guys, they just take time. Any faster, you're running into risk of injury, strains, stuff like that. So I would start off with twice a week, kind of like we're doing right now, 3 sets of 10. And then just notice that you're going to see progress, like with just twice a week. A lot of people think you need to stretch every day for the past 3 months. I only did twice a week for my pancake opening. The exact same movement I'm showing you. And again, I started off with 4 yoga blocks, and just in 3 months, twice a week. So with the math, that's probably 25 sessions. Because 3 times 4 is 12, and then 2 times a week is 24, and then just added 1 because there's not exactly 4 weeks in a month. So 25 sessions, and yeah, just an amazing amount of opening in those 25 weeks, and it's done safely. So that's the biggest thing you can get for your buck, safety. All right, let's go ahead, and we're going for the final set. Down, 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, 9, last one, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, wiggle it out, wiggle it out. I'm going to show 2 more exercises for today that we're going to just end off with. One is going to be your horse stance. Who here knows horse stance? Throw it in the comments, because this one is intense, to say the least. Not intense in the same way that this one was intense. This one was a deep opener. Horse stance, of course, we're going to try and get opening in it, because that's what Thursdays are about. But it's going to also just get your quads on fire. You're going to be like, wow, I feel like I'm squatting a lot of weight, which is exciting. So we're going to get some good strength out of it too. So next up is horse stance, and then we're going to also do the front split holds. Okay, so let's go ahead and set ourselves up with that. So before we go into front split holds, we're going to go into our horse stance. This one is a really good prereq before you get your straddle splits. So the way that you do your horse stance is we start with feet together, and we're going to come about 5 feet shuffles apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, I want my feet neutral. So I want the toes pointing forward, and what I'm going to do is come deep down. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to come in deep down and lower my pelvis so that I'm in a 90-degree angle. It's really helpful to have a stick here that you can lie on your thigh. Oh, that rhymes. Lie on my thigh. So let me just show it from a side view. So I'm going to have my feet 5 steps apart, and I'm just going to come into a position where my spine is as straight as possible, and I'm dipping my hips low. From here, I hold. Arms can be out to the side. That's how they do it in Shaolin training. But you can also just have them across your chest if you don't want to burn your shoulders up. Okay, so we're going to do that for 60 seconds. 60 seconds. 60 seconds. And as we do so, feel free to, come out of it. You're not bound down to this position. But this one is going to really challenge your quads, and at the same time, you're looking for that depth that can get you some level of opening. So horse stance is an absolute prerequisite for straddle splits, and totally worth our time. So let's go ahead, coming down, and begin the 1 minute. At this point, this is where you would have a stick on your thighs, so you know if you're accidentally raising too high. breathing here, feeling it, maybe coming out of it for a moment, and then revisiting. That's how it feels for me when I do these. I have to come out of them for a moment or two. Whew, that's 1 minute. All right. I'm gonna go ahead, take a break, and we're just gonna do 1 more minute. Give yourself a break. This one requires a pretty heavy break. So I'm gonna put a timer on actually for us for about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and that'll let you feel rejuvenated enough that you can re-hit this one. So why horse stance? All it's doing is letting you experience the split without its full intensity. So when I'm down here, I'm actually already in my split for a lot of my muscles. A lot of my muscles are already like, oh, this is what it feels like. My joint is like, oh, this is what it feels like. The only muscles that aren't feeling it are my two joint muscles, the ones that cross the hip and cross the knee. Because my hip is in this split position, but my knees aren't. My knees are flexed. We want our knees straight. That's how we get a split. So what we're doing is we're catering to half of the tissues within the body and letting them feel what it's like to be in the split. We're getting everything around the hip to be like, this is what a split feels like. Your pelvic floor gets to feel it. So all of those tissues get to feel it. And you're building some good strength to be able to hold yourself in these positions. So that's what the whole point of mobility is. We don't want just flimsy open joints. We want strength in these joints. Coming back to the last 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. Find your horse stance 5 steps apart, maybe a little wider, maybe a step in, depending on how big your steps were. All right. Second minute. God dang, those are tough. All right. So I did want to show us one last hip opening, but actually I'm going to skip it for today because I like to end off with a little bit of stillness and breath work. So just a little bit of a recap before we go into some breath work to cool down our body. Is that notice that as we did all the movements that we did, everything came from a place of strength. A lot of people like to do passive stretching, like where they just hold a stretch for a long period of time. I am not an advocate of passive stretching. The research has just shown that it's not that passive stretching has like all around negative connotation, but in the midst of choosing, passive stretching is a strong second for me of what active movements like this do, because these active movements is what lets your joints become and the muscles surrounding them not only open but resilient enough to hold these new positions. If you just are constantly holding yourself at a new position, you're not building strength in those new positions. That's why we're coming in, out, in, out. So our muscles are doing this, in, out, and they're strengthening at the same time instead of just trying to pull them apart. And then they don't have the ability in these open positions to pull back together. So with all that in mind, we're going to be coming to the final part of today's practice, just letting ourselves have a few minutes of some stillness at the end of some breath work. So where we're going to be leading with today's breath work, we'll be starting off with breath of fire, and from breath of fire, we're going to then just tune into a mindful state of breathing that allows us to start experiencing stillness. So what is breath of fire? Breath of fire is set up where we use our abdominals to create a drum beat through forceful inhalation and exhalations. So to show, I'm going to be taking off my shirt so that we can experience what this looks like. This shirt is so sweaty. So my abdominals here, as I go ahead and I try to relax myself so that I can access the breath of fire, I'm going to breathe deeply into my abdominals. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So you can see that the breath is coming from my stomach. From here, we're going to allow our breath to move at the pace or a tempo of a drum beat. So you can find yourself matching my tempo, or you can go faster, or you can go slower. But the tempo I'm going to be choosing, and just for example's sake of what this looks like, to use my abdominals to help me with this maneuver, is it looks as so. As so. So we're just going to do a quick 30 to 50 breaths. I'm not going to count them explicitly. We're just going to keep it open. And after that, allow ourselves to experience stillness in our breath. So this one is just going to match the intensity that we were just working at, this first breath pattern that we're doing. And then from there, we're going to cool down. Okay, so joining me here. 3, 2, 1, begin. Allow your breathing to relax. And let your breath come in such a gentle way that your mind and your entire body becomes still. And everything soften and become still. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Letting the next breath be deeper. Inhale. Exhale. And the final breath, deep. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you guys for coming to today's class. Take a moment to thank yourself. I always appreciate getting to teach this class. It is absolutely an honor to get to show a little bit of what opening has looked like in my own practice and how it's helped me tremendously. And yeah, if anyone has any recommendations of ideas they want to explore, if they want deeper split training, we can definitely hit that on. And I hope you guys learned something new, as always. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys